for the Team J and Albina, Buddy Team J and Albina, Monday, 7th of August.
Yes.
2017. And I'm going to go ahead and copy our recording. All right. So it's primarily going to be about onboarding. So basically, we created the onboarding doc, which is linked right here.
Yeah.
The primary, and this is also part of responsibility organizing, right? So responsibility organizing. And there should be, well, we have the link to the info about responsibility organizing that we will review. But the first thing responsibility organizing is to create a link or a doc. For this particular responsibility of onboarding, we could create an entire doc. And the first thing every responsibility would have is some sort of goal or accomplishment of the reason why you're doing the responsibility. So, for example, in this case, our goal is to, fully fully get a new worker engaged and active with, the global team, right?
Yes.
So that's basically what our goal is. And so we're going to go through all the steps, right? And the key thing to understand is that, this happens right after we send the initial invite email, right? So before this process, right? So basically, you have one. Step 0 would be recruitment, and then recruitment ends, and onboarding begins after recruitment. So basically, recruitment ends at the point where you send the invite email. So sometimes there might be some post email where if there's questions and concerns and back and forth, right? But if basically they're like, yes, I'm ready, I'm excited to get involved, then there's no longer recruitment. It's onboarding. Okay.
Okay, like for example, there is one reply I got.
Yeah, we're gonna go over that. Yeah, we're gonna go over it in detail.
Yeah. Okay.
But right now we're not doing anything. We're doing the responsibility organizing. This is what everybody would do for every single responsibility.
Okay.
Are you following me on that?
Yes, I'm following.
So no, you don't need to know how to do the responsibility in order to organize it. So let's go through a couple things here. One is that the onboarding process itself is part of the project, and the project link would always be, up here, would be part of the project of personnel support. Okay?
Yes.
So it's just obviously by definition as part of personnel support. So we want to link the personnel support doc to the onboarding process doc. And
yes, I'll do that.
And I'm going to pull it up here as well. And then I'm going to link the onboarding process doc to the personnel support doc. But you see how it's no longer recruitment anymore? It goes into personnel support because they're actually part of the personnel at that point.
Yeah.
All right, so onboarding is part of personnel support. And so recruitment is basically like, project, responsibility recruitment. And this is also, that's an interesting concept. All right, so I'm just gonna pop it right in here. So this would be like onboarding doc. Okay. And then did you link the personnel
Yes.
support? Are you going to link the personnel support doc, or should I do that?
Okay, let me do it.
It'll literally take me 2 seconds.
Okay, you can do it.
You want me to do it? Okay, done. All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
So, all right, so let's just really quickly check in on responsibility organizing. Can you give me like the basic rundown of what you do with responsibility organizing? What's the purpose of responsibility organizing? Can you, I mean, we've talked about responsibility organizing many times. I mean, can you give some example, like a single thing that would go into responsibility organizing? We actually just talked about responsibility organizing like 2 minutes ago.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Julie.
Yes, I have a question. For the payroll payments verification spreadsheet, there are 2 assets. Is this one person or a different person?
What about on the payroll timeframes for everyone? Did you look there?
Yeah.
So
For the end of the month.
So
yeah.
there's a Asif. There's Asif Razu, and he's twice a month, and then there's Asif. So there's Asif Razu and Asif.
Also, it is different person or people?
Yeah, there's Asif and there's Asif Razu. They're 2 different people.
Oh, okay.
And
Just knew it.
Asif is weekly, and Asif Razu is twice per month.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Jay.
Cool. Okay, good work. All right. So so responsibility organizing. Can you give one example of responsibility organizing?
Like the responsibilities, examples of responsibilities.
Nope.
Or
every single responsibility needs to be organized, separate from doing the responsibility. Just like every single responsibility needs to be trained, right? Doing training for the responsibility is not doing the responsibility. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
So every responsibility has 3 components, right? So you have responsibility, you've got training, you've got, the organizing, and then you have the actual doing of the work. Do you see how they're very, very different?
Yes.
Okay, so what a responsibility organizing is not doing any work. It's not actually doing the work of the responsibility. It's organizing the responsibility so that everyone can do the work, not just you.
Okay.
So can you give one example of something that's part of responsibility organizing for any responsibility?
Like linking the videos to the right responsibility?
Yeah, so you would want, if for example, onboarding, we would want to link all the videos related to onboarding. So training videos, this is a great example. So for example, we're doing a training video right now, so we can actually link this video for onboarding right here, done. So now anybody who needs to know about onboarding can link onto this training video and learn about onboarding. Okay?
Yes.
Any other example?
Putting the tasks that are related to the responsibility.
Yeah, so the responsibility will have tasks related to it, exactly. Okay, so this is really good. Sometimes a responsibility, you can technically have umbrella responsibilities that can have sub-responsibilities as part of the umbrella responsibility. So you can also have what's called sub-responsibilities. Sub-responsibilities look like this. like that.
Okay.
It's like a sub-responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so let's go over a couple other things with responsibility organizing. You want to have the link, so we have the link already, right? So you're organizing the responsibility and so the following things need to happen, right? And then remember, this is not doing the work. It's not even necessarily planning the work. It's just organizing it so that in the future, other people are able to plan and do the work, right?
Yeah.
So the first step is the link. We have the link. We created a doc. It has a link. All good to go, right?
Yes.
Then you want to know the information. First thing is the name and description of the responsibility. So here's the name of the responsibility. We have the goal, which pretty much describes what it is. You know, goal / description. Okay. Next,
Yes.
link any information about that responsibility, meeting notes and/or indexing information or discussions about that responsibility. So we could go through notes, we could go through other places and just link anything and everything that has to do with onboarding here. But you know, there's not too much information. We're kind of creating it right now as well, which is fine. So 3, link any trainings and videos. So we just did that. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
4, list who knows how to do this responsibility. So training videos. So the next thing would be like, who knows about onboarding? So we put Jay and Albina, right?
Okay.
Because you know all about onboarding, right? Because you're gonna know over the next 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
So then we have processes, systems, and other information that help the responsibility get accomplished, step-by-step processes, and this is also related to the task. And then also what is still missing, next steps, anything else. And so that's pretty much it. So we're well on our way to getting the responsibility organized. So let's basically go over some of the sub-responsibilities and some of the tasks, okay?
Yes.
So a sub-responsibility could include setting up personnel docs, okay? So what does that include?
Yes.
So you have create a main doc, right, for the worker, right, for a new worker, right? And you're going to want to link, and then everything else gets linked inside the main doc, right?
Yes.
So what do we need to link into the main doc? You know, and I would say even like Abdul, Lucy, you know, are pretty good at onboarding at this point. They've done it a few times. So can you give some examples of things that we want linked inside the main doc?
Mhm. About personnel.
A what?
Oh, that's
So what do you have linked within your main doc?
within my main doc. Responsibility, tasks.
Linked. What do you have linked?
The videos.
Okay, that's not quite right. So you're gonna have a lot of things inside of the main doc. So let's just start with the template main doc. So we're gonna create create a main doc for a new worker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using a template main doc for new workers. So it's important to note here, this is not an existing workers doc, because as you go along, your main doc it can get very complicated, right? And so,
Yes.
so new workers, we want them to have very simple main docs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and create a template main doc. So we need to create a new template main doc. Okay, so if you can create a new doc and link it here for the template main doc. Can you do that?
Yes. Can I do it right away?
Please.
Creating an empty doc. Jay, I've just created an empty doc.
Great. Did you link it?
On the Hangout.
No, you want to either link it to our buddy team notes or the onboarding process doc.
Okay. I've linked it there.
Great. Okay, perfect. All right, so now this can become our template main doc. And again, it's the template main doc for new workers, which is very different than not. So if we come and we open this up, we would call it the template main doc for new workers.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So so let's start listing. What is the most important thing that every new worker gets?
Personal online personnel file.
Exactly. It's technically a public online personnel file. Okay, personnel file. So here, it might make sense to in the onboarding right here. So we want what is everything that gets linked inside. So here we can link. Well, here let's just note it down here. The personnel profile, and then we're going to want to link the template personnel online personnel profile. Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know if you'd be able to find the template online personnel profile, but that would be the next step here. Do you think you can do that, or should I do it?
Creating another one or?
What? We just want to link the existing online public personnel profile. I need to plug in my computer. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Were you able to link the template personnel profile?
Yes.
You did? Right. And did you put it into the onboarding process doc? I don't see it. Where is it?
Which one?
Did you link the public online template online personnel profile?
Okay, like, can I pick mine and link there, or how?
No, there's a template.
Or creating another one?
No, it's existing. It's in the you need to have the personnel support HR doc. So let's just go ahead and well, we already linked that, right? It's linked to the top of the onboarding process doc as the personnel support doc. So everything is based on the personnel support doc. So if you don't have that, then that'll be a problem. So the template personnel profile is like right here. So template personnel profile. Okay. Okay, you see that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So then, what else would be in? And then we're actually going to want to have one of their other steps here. So I was while you were working on that other thing, I was working on the list of all the things we want to accomplish with each worker, right? So we want to get their personnel profile filled out and updated. Okay. We want to have them and and so they can start. So the number one thing is getting them into a main or provisional buddy team, so they can start creating their buddy team proposal, and then also getting them some other type of secondary buddy team. Also very, very important. In many ways, this might even be number. I don't know. We'll leave it as number 2. I mean, from there we want to have them, what was it? Oh, it's basically on it. Oh, well, it's okay. Remember it. We want to make sure that they're clear on their scheduling availability, so they're working and when they're available, getting them into scheduled buddy team work sessions, right?
Yes.
Getting them synced into team communications, so they're connected on Skype, etc. And then we want to get their personnel profile filled out. Oh yeah, I remember what it is. It's like make sure they fill out their detailed worker intake form, right? So this is the detailed worker intake form here. right there, and you can also see the editable, the results right here, right? Cool. And that's essential to have them be able to to update the personnel profile. Is to make sure they fill out the detailed worker intake. So can you think of any other things of what we want to accomplish for each worker? I guess we want to get them started thinking about what responsibilities they want to take on. So that's like essential, is that immediately they get the list of responsibilities, what they can learn how to do, and they need to start thinking about that right away. So they can start make sure they know where the video training index is. And we probably want to create a video training index just for new workers, right? So maybe like create a new video training doc just for new workers, right? So this could be like a simplified version of basically training information that is all clear and simple for new workers, so that they don't get overwhelmed by 300 videos right away, right?
Yes.
So we also might want to do on the responsibilities, make sure they are clear on the responsibilities for all workers. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything else that we'd want to accomplish for each worker?
Maybe the calendar also. They need to know the calendar.
The calendar. Well, that would be their scheduling availability. So making sure they get clarity on their scheduling availability of their working times, right? And then when they're available, and get them scheduled into the buddy team work sessions.
Yeah.
So I think that would cover the scheduling and the calendar.
Okay.
So can you think of anything?
What about equity asset, time and equity asset spreadsheet?
Well, that would be something else that goes inside their main doc. Right?
Okay.
So that would be the equity assets spreadsheet. Right? So that's another one. The thing with that is that it's not the top priority, so there are some other ones that are more important than that. So what's the next most important thing that needs to go in the template main doc for new workers?
To create the work report doc.
Yes, the work reporting doc. So we don't really have a template work reporting doc. I think people do use one. I mean, I think there might be a template work reporting doc, but so we probably should have one. Create or find the template work reporting doc. Okay, so that would be helpful. What else? And so then we have the equity spreadsheets. Oops. This is individual equity spreadsheet. And so there should be a template here. Create or find the equity. So this is another task.
Like this, like the template we are creating. Should it be empty, or we put there some information, and which kind of information? Like, for example, when we are creating for the equity asset spreadsheet.
Well, the equity asset spreadsheet already has a template, so you would just use the existing template.
Okay.
Yeah. So each of these, everything else gets main doc. So create. So this would be a task, right? So create a new public online personnel using the template. You would create a work reporting doc using the template, or just a new one. And then the assets, create individual equity assets spreadsheet template. Okay.
Yes.
So those would be tasks. And you're also creating the main doc. So that's 4 tasks. So what else goes in a template main doc?
Payroll time frame for everyone.
That would go into their work report.
Okay.
Into their work reporting doc.
Now where will we put the calendar? Because it should be there.
Well, they should have their scheduling availability here.
Yeah.
That's very important. And what else did they have? Maybe their responsibilities.
Maybe not main document.
And then here we want to have the list. Basically, we want to link to the responsibilities for all workers. Right? That is
Yes.
very important. Oh, and then we also want the link to this one that we just talked about making. So create a new video index doc, video training doc for new workers. Right? Link. Let's just have a new section here that's important. General links. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it. These would be the primary individual docs. Is that the public online personnel part, work reporting doc, and your individual equity spreadsheet, along with your template main doc. So the only other thing really is like teams and buddy teams, right? So team docs, right? And then you might team and buddy team docs, team and buddy team. Although I feel like even that might be too much, It's like until they actually join a team, they probably don't even need that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it would be helpful to pop open your main doc.
Okay.
And I'm going to look for the responsibilities for all workers doc. Here it is, responsibilities for all workers doc. I found it. I love this thing. Okay. Great. So that should go here. All right, and so that would go here. Responsibilities for all workers doc.
The ongoing responsibility are the same as responsibility for all workers.
Yeah, that's this one here, huh?
Huh? Their on-time responsibility and one-time responsibilities.
Ongoing, yeah, ongoing and one-time responsibilities when you first start.
Okay.
Cool. So one is the schedule availability, right? So for the schedule availability, we have the global scheduling availability doc, right? So you can, see global schedule availability doc for format, right? So what we want people to do for scheduling availability is basically, go to global scheduling availability doc and choose which Octant sessions you are available for, right? So when you go to this doc, right? So now we can get into like the actual situation here. So we have
Yes.
what was her name?
Albina.
No, her name's not Albina.
She's down.
It's Mary. Her name is Mary.
Okay.
So Mary said that she's available from Sunday to Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Thursdays from 7 to 3 a.m. UTC plus 6. I'm available all day long on Fridays, right? So basically, we want to turn that into, does that mean she's available during the Eurafrica session, the Atlantic session, the Americas session, the Pacific session, the Oceania session, the Australasia session, the Central Asia session, or the Middle East session? Right? It's like, when is she available?
Oh, okay. So should we ask how?
And this document here, and this is part of like, this is a whole responsibility as well, is like, the goal is to, know people's general availability regardless of whether they are scheduled within the buddy teams. Okay, so this is your general availability. It doesn't mean you're going to be scheduled for all of the time, but we just generally want to know people's availability.
Okay.
And this is the list of octant sessions. Okay.
Yes.
So obviously Australia, there's not too much availability. Middle East session, not a lot of availability, right? But we're going to work on that and hopefully improve upon it. Your Africa session, we do have a little more availability, like Lucy's available, like Fridays, you know, et cetera, so we can start adding that in here.
No.
And also there's the teams, right? So you have the main weekly session, you would add that in here, right? So does this sort of make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we want to do for Mary. And then we want to get her scheduled into these sessions as soon as possible and just help her through this process. We want her to understand her responsibilities. And for the buddy teams, we have, do you have your template? I mean, your main doc that we can look at?
Which main doc?
Your main doc.
Mine.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, when you work with Mary, you want to make sure she gets everything set up, you know, get all of her docs created and filled out. Make sure all the docs are created and start doing work recording. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's definitely a couple other things here that we should review. Let's see, getting main person buddy teams. So this would be main buddy teams. So are you getting your main doc? Can you link your main doc to our buddy team?
My main doc, linking it to where should I link it?
Just to the buddy team notes is fine.
Okay.
Here's the buddy team process. There. I still don't see your, oh, here we go, main doc. Yeah, this is all way too much detail, but you're looking good. I mean, this is really, really good. I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean, I would say generally speaking, you are pretty much ready for level 4. I mean, you know, we just need to prioritize that. So ongoing tasks and responsibilities, helping in note taking during session, help value tracking end of sessions, creating buddy team docs, helping getting set up with notes, docs, recording. Yeah, okay, so none of that. To know tracking responsibilities. All right, so I think the evaluation form is the only other one here. ongoing South and cool. All right, so I think this is pretty much maybe we just on your responsibilities, you know, keeping your schedule up to date. All right, so let's just get rid of that. All direct responsibilities for all workers back there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And maybe we can make it look a little nicer. That action. And maybe a little that. So, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. You know, do you have any other questions about their documents?
What about their responsibility? Like,
well, they choose the responsibilities, right? So, we should have, you know, responsibility lists. Oh, and one thing we want on the template main doc is we want the link to the video training doc for workers. Yeah, we want to create that doc so that we can link that. And so then they get the responsibilities. So I guess another thing would be update your one-time responsibilities as needed. No, that's not applicable anymore. Personal general. Know and track your responsibilities. You know, review and take on responsibilities that you have interest in. So here we want to link, you know, link the list of responsibilities doc.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is, but you know, we should do that. Or maybe it's a doc, maybe it's a spreadsheet. I don't know. Or maybe we just link. Well, I don't really want to confuse them though. So we just want a simple. This would be a simple list of responsibilities or a list to other types of responsibilities. Cool. So yeah, any other questions? Because I mean, I think we're pretty clear. Let's make sure. Oh, there is a couple other things here. So list of other tasks and follow up. You know, after basic onboarding, right? So there's a couple other things. One is you're going to want to update the current team HR rankings, right? So you would add the new worker, the HR rankings.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Another thing that you might do is you would add them, update and add the new worker to the payroll by, you know, payroll time and works. Spreadsheet for team work hours and pay. To the spreadsheet for team work hours and pay, right?
Yes.
You would want to add their main doc to any super team docs they are a part of. Right, that's another thing to follow up on. You want to add them to the team levels, team and individual levels spreadsheet. So that eventually needs to happen. Spreadsheet results. I think that's pretty much J. I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of it. Oh, and you need to add their personnel profile. It's very important.
Yes.
Add personnel profile to the a personnel support doc, and you also will eventually add their main buddy team or provisional buddy team proposals doc to the personnel support doc. Okay, so these are all like follow-up tasks that happen over time for every worker.
Okay.
And there'll also be some other things like lists and things like that, but we won't get to that. Okay, so here we want to assign them, assign them to a secondary buddy team or multiple. That's important. Make sure all their docs are created. That's clear. Make sure they fill out detailed worker intake form. So this should be part of the initial email, getting clarity on scheduling and availability. So you need to ask them, and add them to the global scheduling availability doc. So ask new worker about availability, add them to that. Okay, so that's clear. Getting clarity on scheduling availability, so that's done. Getting them synced with communication in Skype, so we need to make sure they are invited to Jay, to chat with Jay and others on Skype, and then add them to teams they are involved with. Okay?
Yes.
So that's good for now. Getting their personnel profile filled out and up to date. Right, so that's super important task. Get them started thinking about what responsibilities they want to work on. So ask them to review responsibilities to work on, focus on priorities. Part of me just feels like the list of responsibilities that we should show them should start with the overall responsibilities, because those are the most important ones that need to get done the soonest, right? So where's the list of overall responsibilities? I have it right here. Okay. What else do we have here? So that sounds good. Make sure they're clear about for all workers. Make sure they know where video training index is. So that should be on the template. Video training doc for new workers. So we need to create this new video training doc for new workers. This is the thing that's still missing.
Okay, about the training videos, are we going to link all the videos or the only relevant videos for the training?
All I'm saying is that right now we have that huge spreadsheet that has like hundreds of videos, right?
Yeah.
And we have the other document that's even more crazy and is completely confusing. So I was thinking about having like a new worker video training doc.
Yeah.
With just like a list of 30 videos that they can have access to that will help them learn like the basic things that they need to know about.
Okay, I'll create that one.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Other tasks to complete. Goals. Other tasks to follow up after basic onboarding. All right, so I think this is pretty much done. Do you have any other questions?
Okay, about now the person who has turned, then I replied positively. Should we invite her on Skype so that you may give her more details?
Yeah, that would be right here. Make sure that they're invited to chat with Jay on Skype and add them in teams that they're involved with, right? So you want to chat with them on Skype and make sure they're, invite them to chat with people in their area. It's like connect them or multiple, connect them immediately with, many members within the global team. Especially within their quintet, right? To get them connected to people, near them and who would be able to connect with them, right? It's just like including, me and other people. It's just like the more people they're connected with at the beginning, I would say at least, one, 2 to 3 other people besides yourself. So you're connected with her, right? So you want to connect with her, and then you want to connect her to like Abdul or Julie or whoever. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So any other questions on this?
So should I these tasks, should I complete it today or when?
Well, all you need to do for today is to respond to Mary and make sure that she understands that this isn't sufficient, right? So she said her time availability for UTC +6, right? And so this is not good enough. What we need is we need her to go to according to the responsibilities. So immediately, okay. So let's add some steps. Okay. So if we go to let's just review some steps here. This might help. So steps for onboarding, right? So basically, step 0 is you invited them, right? Invite them. Step 1 is like answer any unrelated questions about the work, right? Because some people have questions. So then after they agree to work, start and focus on, I would say this is actually step 0 as well. Invite them and answer the unrelated questions, okay? And this Rena is recruitment. Okay, but then after they agree to work, you start focus on onboarding, right? It's no longer recruiting anymore. We need to onboard them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So based on what Mary said, what would you categorize this as? Would you categorize this as recruitment or onboarding?
I think onboarding.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because I think she's interested.
Exactly.
All she wants is to know.
Yes. She's very excited. Yeah. She's interested. She
wants more information. Actually, she doesn't understand, but she's willing.
Yeah, she's ready to get involved. She doesn't understand that this is like, she's not going to get a spoon-fed tasks. She actually has to work to learn how to work together as a team to solve problems, right? Because that's what we do. We solve problems as a team. We don't just regurgitate tasks, right? Because we're actually trying to help people in the world, and we don't know what the solutions are yet. It's a very complicated situation we're all in, right? So So basically, after they're excited and interested to agree to the work, the first thing we need to do is schedule them. So make sure they give us their scheduling availability, right? And add them to the global scheduling availability doc. And let's go ahead and link that again. So that is right here. Okay.
Like Mary, for her case, she says she's available from Sunday to Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, but 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is meaningless because there are 47 different time zones across the world. Right?
Yeah.
So you need to put it into the context of what sessions is she coming? Is she coming to the Sonic session? Can she come to the Americas session? You know, it's like it needs to be based on the global availability schedule. See, so it's like their Africa session. Right?
Okay.
The Americas
so
session.
should we send
session.
her the global scheduling availability doc or
Yes.
what?
Yeah, you can send it to her, but you can also.
I think we should send her this one so that she may
but
just pick the availability hours for her.
More importantly than sending her that, so you want to schedule them, right? But the best thing to schedule for them is basically, you look at the times that she's available, right? And then you compare that to the global availability schedule, and then you can add her right away. But the point is that you tell her, okay, come to this session, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then sometimes you even need to remind them of the actual link to the calendar, right? So you would want to, let them know what sessions they should come to. They should come to based on their availability, and then also let them know of any important global sessions coming up. For example, we have like the full moon, right? Coming up in like, what is it? Today, tomorrow? Yeah.
Today, for us today, for you tomorrow.
Yeah. So let's check on that really quick so that we know. I'm gonna look at my local time here, so I know it for me. So it says it's at midnight. No, it's at 12 p.m. noon tomorrow for me. Okay. All right.
Okay, she's in Central Asia, I think.
Cool. All right. So from there, you would invite them, and then also, yeah. So that's pretty much it, right? So you want to keep it pretty simple. Make sure that they are connected in. If they're available during the Sonic team, tell them to come to the Sonic team. If they're available for the Austrasia, tell them to come to the Austrasia mainly weekly session, right? Just get them invited. Yes. Get them. Basically the goal here is to get them invited and scheduled into actual sessions, on specific days. Okay, as soon as possible. Like, this is the goal. Okay, so it's like, you don't just tell them like, oh yeah, maybe you can show up. It's like, when are you showing up? What time are we expecting you? Like specifics. When are you showing up? What day, we will be expecting you. Right? They need to understand that we take this seriously, right?
Yes.
So then the next part is, make their main doc. Their main doc. And send that to them, right? Because their main doc is their link to everything else they experience. So that's the most important thing. Get them their main doc, and then once they have their main doc, they will be able to get all the other information that they need, right? So they'll be able to look at the responsibilities for all workers. They can find out their responsibilities. They can see all this information, and then they will have access to, the basic, videos that they can watch. And their scheduling availability and their responsibilities and everything. Okay?
Yes.
So I mean, basically, that's pretty much it. From there, you basically want to connect them with buddy teams and the buddy team process. The main new component for this is that we really do have this new spreadsheet here, right? So they can find buddy teams here. Right. So new component, use the spreadsheet of approved workers, right? So what's really cool about this is that we can also link them. So the easiest way to do provisional buddy teams, so provisional buddy teams is just like the link together the newest workers. So easy way to connect buddy teams, just link together new workers. So Mary's now involved, right? So
Yeah.
whoever gets involved next, we connect Mary to them, right? So whoever was last person to get involved, which is Asif Razu, Mary could get involved with Asif Razu, then Mary would get involved with whoever the next person is too. Okay? So you just keep connecting people together. It's kind of like a chain of buddies. Chain of buddies with all the newest workers. Okay? And then once you get people linked into the teams and the buddy teams, then they'll learn how to make sure they're getting the rest of their responsibilities done and getting all their things accomplished. Okay? So I think that's basically the 5 steps for onboarding. And then I guess the 6th one would be like all the other tasks as needed. Okay, so the other things don't really happen in any particular order. So is that pretty clear? Are you there? Albina? Hello? Albina? I think I lost Albina.